Happy Thursday, everybody. It is Chamber Check-In Day, and I get to check in with Executive Director for the Idaho Beef Council, TK Kuwahara.
Hi,
Hi,
Paul.
TK.
Thanks for having me. Hello.
Absolutely. This is a great time to check in with you guys and find out a little bit about what the Idaho Beef Council is, what it does. So with that, can you let our audience know a little bit about the history and the mission of the Beef Council?
I'd love to. We represent all of the cattle producers throughout the state. And so in 1967, we were created by the Idaho legislature. And our job is to represent all these hardworking beef producers throughout our state because they can't be out there educating the consumer about beef nutrition or the cuts of beef or cooking methods. And so it's really our role to provide the education, to conduct research, and help them to promote those great attributes of beef.
Okay, so the folks that you serve are the cattlemen and the cattle producers in Idaho.
Yes, so there's over 5,000 cattle producers here. And so really, I have 5,000 bosses that I have to report to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, tell us a little bit about the Beef Counts program.
I'd love to. This is really near and dear to my heart, and I think it's very important. And I really am excited that we can share this information because the Beef Counts program helps the Idaho Food Bank provide a very high quality, much needed protein to the beneficiaries around the state. And our cattle producers are really supportive of this program because they know what they're raising and they know that there's a safe, healthy, nutritious protein product, beef, and we want to make sure that everyone has access to this. So we are raising awareness for the Beef Counts program. And what's really great about this is that AgriBeef, another Boise or Idaho company, is matching all donations up to $50,000. So if you're looking for a place to support and help your community, this is a place where you can leverage your donation and ensure that everyone is getting that protein or the fuel for their body. Because the beef or the Idaho Food Bank, they really receive great donations from the community, but not all of them have the nutritional power punch of beef with the zinc, iron, protein, and other nutrients. So it's a great program.
That's a great partnership too with AgriBeef. Yeah. Hey, beef sustainability. Can you tell us a little bit about the story of that and some misperceptions that you'd like to address?
Oh, there's so many, but I'll just cover a couple today. I think that in the news, we always hear about greenhouse gases and how cattle are bad and we need to save the planet. But really, if you look at greenhouse gas emissions in the United States, beef cattle only represents 2% of those gas emissions. And this is according to the EPA. But if we look at other sources, such as transportation contributes 29% of greenhouse gases and electricity, 28%. So instead of passing on that steak or that hamburger, you might consider carpooling or getting your bike out to ride to work.
I love it.
Other things I think that's really interesting that I've learned since I've joined the Beef Council is carbons, the increased carbon storage. So today in U.S. grasslands that's utilized by the beef industry, it sequesters and stores carbon. So it's about 7.4 petagrams, I think, of carbon, and that's equivalent to approximately 5.76 billion cars taken off of the road. So just having the cattle out there, and I really recommend that you check out the Idaho Rangeland Resource Commission. They have this great video that's really informational. You can see cross sections of the rangeland and what the cattle do to help sequester those carbons. So I learned something there. And then the last thing I think is plants converting to protein. So I didn't realize this, but we all have driven through Idaho probably, and we see the sagebrush and it looks a little bit desolate to some people. but the cattle are out there, and because of their unique digestive system, they can eat plants that we can't. It's inedible to humans. And places where we can't grow crops, they are converting that into protein so that we can consume and fuel our bodies. So with growing population, that's a really cool thing, I think.
Awesome. Hey, we're all familiar with the ad campaign that you guys have done for years. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Dun,
Can
dun, dun.
you, yeah, exactly. Can you tell us about some of the new campaigns to educate consumers?
Well, we're still staying with that beef is what's for dinner umbrella, campaign umbrella. But if you go to the idbeef.org website or beefiswhatsfordinner.com website, there's a whole host of information out there. And you can see how we're rethinking the ranch. For example, there's videos on there on how cattle are raised. And I never knew this, but cattle ranchers use drones to check on their cattle, for example. There's a lot of great information on cuts, cooking methods, recipes, nutrition. For retailers, we have all these videos to learn how to cut subprimals down for your grocery store. Or for chefs, we have all of these educational resources there as well. So we have a little bit of everything on this beefiswhatsfordinner.com or idbeef.org for everyone to check out. It's amazing what information is out there. Even from a consumer perspective, I'm learning so much.
As a former grocer, I worked in the grocery department, and we'd worked with our meat departments. They would have these different cuts, and you would see a picture of a cow, and you know, how do you pick the right cuts? What I saw on your website is some really fun consumer education, and can you tell us a little bit more about the introduce folks to the new Idaho Today series that you've partnered with KTVB?
That was really fun. Melissa Paul did a great job with us. We gave her a number of different topics and introduced her to members of our industry. And she was able to go through from cow-calf producers to what beef is doing internationally. And all of these different segments can be found on our website. So if you go to idbeef.org, click on the recipe tab, it will showcase all of those Idaho Today series. And they're really fun. There's a lot of different topics there that we'd love to chat with you about.
Well, I would like to hear more about the race for steaks and the partnership with Cordova. I see a cooler behind you, and tell us about the race for steaks a little bit. And then I'd love to go into about 3 more things from that series.
Okay. So Race for the Steaks, this is a great community event, I think, and all of the race registrations will be benefiting the Treasure Valley YMCA and the Idaho Food Bank Beef Counts program. So traditionally, we all race, and at the end of the race, we get to have this delicious steak dinner provided by AgriBeef and Double R Ranch. But this year with COVID, we're going virtual, we're being safe, but we really want it to be fun. So our graphic designer, Miri Design, has worked with Cordova and a number of other Idaho companies to showcase this cooler. And you can see back here, the Cordova cooler wrapped with beef is what's for dinner. It has a roping dummy head on there, and all of this was made in Idaho. So we thank them for donating that. They are putting some Double R Ranch steaks in there. So anyone who registers to participate will be entered to win this. And so I wish I could win this. What else is really awesome is that we're partnering with Mark Anderson from the Grill Dads. You may have heard of him from the Food Network, and he's going to be showcasing Double R Ranch beef in an online cooking class for all participants. And then what's really cool is that he has this new spice line. We are giving that away in all of the race packets so that you can test it out. It's a new tuxedo blend. So we'll have black, red, and white in there, which really matches our Beef is What's for Dinner colors. And then Big Judd's from Boise is donating a free order of finger steaks, and Sockeye Brewing is donating a beverage. And so we have a lot of great things in that race packet. But again, $20 of that participation fee is going to the Treasure Valley YMCA because we are raising the stakes this year on health. And then for the raising the stakes on nutrition, another $20 will go to the Beef Counts program at the Idaho Food Bank. And then on top of that, AgriBeef again is matching that. So we're really excited about this partnership so we can help our community members.
Okay, we've only got a few more minutes left, but I want to cover some more stuff. Tell us
Okay.
about Idaho finger steaks and its global atmosphere that it's going to reach.
Well, Idaho, our finger steaks are an Idaho thing. I found out we are trying to tell the secret around the United States and Japan, and we are having Japanese companies, restaurants, launching Idaho finger steaks. So again, look at that KTVB. I know. Look
That's
at the
cool.
video. You can
Okay.
see Idaho finger steaks in Japanese, and so check out that segment because it's really awesome.
Okay. And then beef and wine pairing. Tell us a little bit about that partnership with a local winery here.
You know, this is really great because Chandler's was able to talk us through different cuts of beef and the grades of beef. And when you have that nice marbling, it really, that luscious, delicious beef is so great to go with an Idaho wine. And so Earl with Talaya was able to walk us through some of those pairings. So I really love when we can all come together in Idaho, these ag communities, because we all have a place on the plate and in the glass next to the plate.
Oh, that's awesome. And then Simplot. I would like you to talk a little bit about that. Simplot's known for potatoes, but tell us a little bit about your partnership on the other side.
They are. Everyone thinks of potatoes and Simplot, but I really want everyone to understand that there's more to Simplot than just potatoes. And they have an operation from pasture to plate, and it's really interesting. So they're raising cattle here in Idaho. They are partnering in a packing facility in Kuna, and then their products are going into Wincos here in Idaho. So it's really vertically integrated, and I think that everyone should be aware of the great work that they're doing. So please check out that segment as well. And think about steak frites. That's one of my favorite dishes, steak and fries. So they have it all.
That's awesome. And one more thing that I thought was really cool, sushi or beef shi. Tell us a little bit about sushi and beef.
Yes. So a lot of people have this perception that sushi means raw fish, and it doesn't. It's just flavored rice. It's vinegar flavored rice, and you could put anything in there. So why not put a delicious ribeye steak in there? So one of our ranchers, he put a ribeye steak strip in there, Gouda cheese, some cilantro, and one thing, and jalapeno, but the surprising one was lemon. And that just really brought this freshness out to make that beef, the star even more. Just, it was great. So this is something we're working on. So look for beef shi near you, Idaho beef sushi roll.
Well, I'm looking forward to making my first beef shi roll. TK, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate helping, spread the word about what the Idaho Beef Council does and its partnerships in the community and how you're supporting the cattle industry. It's so cool. Thank you, TK.
Well, thank you, Paul, and we expect some photos of your beef shi.
Awesome. Hey, you also are a great chamber member with us, and you serve on one of our industry advisory boards, the Food and Ag Industry Advisory Board. So thank you for bringing your expertise to that platform as well. And I look forward to our next conversation, TK. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Thank you.